We are back with another stream. We are back on Twitch, and we will be on YouTube later. Getting ready to play a round of my newest board game entitled Legends of Boxing by Stone Mountain Press. It's a game I picked up about a week ago, thanks to watching it on Steve Towers' Wild Card Wednesday. So I'm just getting the Twitch dashboard up so I can see. And there we go. We are ready to go. So today we are going to have a Volume Boxing Federation match. A heavyweight championship battle between Big George Foreman. He is in the red corner, and he will go up against Smokin' Joe Frazier. They battled, I think, in 1973 in Jamaica. It didn't last very long. It was only a 2-round match where George Foreman knocked out Smokin' Joe Frazier. But we will see what happens in this game. We've got our dice ready. We've got our score sheet ready. We've got their positions up. I'll explain everything as we go along. And we are ready for some boxing action. So thanks for watching. Hope everyone is well. Just want to give a quick shout out to everybody who's been watching the Baseball Mogul stream on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. The YouTube viewership has been up 252% this last month. So thank you everyone for watching. And let's get going with some boxing. So I did some pre-match rolls. Now every round you have to make a roll. Or a few rolls, and to determine boxers' control, what mode they're in, the rest of their endurance. And so we're set up for the first round. I'll explain everything as we go into the second round, but essentially we have everybody's going to be, or they're both going to be even as far as their controls. They're going to be an 8. So what you want to do, you're going to roll 3 dice at the beginning. The red, the blue, and the control die. Again, red goes to Foreman, blue goes to Frazier. Now, their control is an 8, so what you want is a roll higher than an 8. Now, there's 3 things that can happen in a... there's 3 things that can happen. You can either have one guy in control, well, they both could be in control, and then it comes down to who has the higher control, or nobody can be in control. Now, if they're even, if they both have control and they're even, it's the same as having no control. So, and then that's when you go to the split action chart here. So, like I said, I'll explain everything as we go through, but every roll is 20 seconds of a 3-round. If I can. There you go. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Sorry, depth perception. Every roll is 20 seconds of a round. So bell 20 seconds, 40. So, and like a regular boxing, there's 3-minute rounds, and we are going to go 15. As you can see, my current champions. I did the 4 other divisions that this game gives you. They give you 125 fighters, and you have 5 divisions. So we've already played 4 rounds. Now, all those were 12-round matches, but I figure our heavyweight championship, our main event should be 15. And I think that's what we're going to do each week, is I'm going to stream 1 fight. It'll rotate between divisions, but the televised fight is going to be 15 rounds, whereas the untelevised fights will be 12. So So other than that, we are pretty much set to start. Like I said, I'll explain everything as we go along, and here we go. Thanks for watching. Alright, so again, we got our 3 dice. We're going to roll our 3 dice. It's going to tell us who's in control and what we're doing. And then we roll the 2 10-sided dice, and that will tell us what kind of punch it was, how much damage it did, or what did they do when they didn't have control, stuff like that. So we'll make our first roll. Sorry for the motorcycle gang. No. So Foreman rolls an 11, Frazier rolls a 17, and it is a 3 on the control. So they're both in control, but Frazier with his 17 versus his 11 puts Frazier in control. Now this dice is against the defense. So now in this case today, both fighters are only having a 1 defense in this first round. They're not worried about it. They're swinging for the fences. So they've only got a 1 defense in this first round. So a 3 means that Frazier hit Foreman. So now what we do is we go on to our chart. Now they both decided to choose pressure for this first fight. Like I said, they're going for the fences. So if it's a hit, you read off this first section, the scoring punch. If it's a miss or defended, you do the second one. So it's a hit. So now we're going to roll our 100, our 2 10-sided dice, the 100, to determine how much or what kind of punch it was, how much damage it caused, and here we go. So it's an 09. So we look on our chart, and it's a 1-point hook. So Frazier comes out, boom, and gets that first point. So we'll put that on our scoring sheet. And that's 20 seconds into this match. So let's get another roll in. It is an 8 for Foreman and a 6 for Frazier, and a 5 control or for defense. So Foreman's an 8, Frazier's an 8. He made an 8, so he's in control. He is not, and it's a 5, so it's a hit. So a hit for Foreman. And a 40. And here we go. We've already got our first attempt at a knockout. In this day, now, when you have a knockout, you look over here and it says K10 through 1. And so now if your fighter is high, it has a power rating higher than the number that is on this thing. Now in this case it was a K7. If he has a higher power than a K7, then he's going for the knockout punch or the knockdown punch. Now in this case, George Foreman has a power rating of 11. There are some things that hindered George Foreman in this game, but his power is not one of those things. He has the max power, so he will be going for the knockout punch. So what that means is, now we check Smokin' Joe Frazier's chin rating. And his chin rating is a 6. It's that CHN. So we go over to the knockdown chart. Now, if you want to be more towards the 10, 11 chin, but his chin rating means if we roll a 1 or a 15, 1 through 15, he's knocked down. If it's not, it's just a really big punch. So we rolled a 96. So it's actually the equivalent of a 2-point punch. So Foreman throws a huge punch, but doesn't get all of them. And we are down. We are now 40 seconds into the match. Okay, so we have a 16 for Frazier, a 12 for Foreman, and a 5 defense. So that will be a hit for Frazier. So we will roll him. and it's a 47. So it's a 1-point hook. So right now they're even going into the first minute. See, I have a dice tray, but one tip: always read the specifications when you buy something on Amazon, because as you can see, it's bigger than my head, and yeah, it's bigger than the entire screen. So off screen, I will play using that, but yeah, when I'm on screen, it just kind of blocks everything. So here we go. And we have a 6 and a 9 with a 4, so that is a hit for Joe Frazier. And it's a 0-5, which is, now here's another different kind of, we've already talked about the black knockdown. Now we've got a red one. So this is a cut. It's a possible cut. First of all, it's a 2-point punch. So we'll give him the points before we roll our cut. So now you have to go up against Foreman's cut rating. Just make a roll. If it's lower than the roll, if it's lower than the number, which in this case is a 7, he's got a cut. If not, it's okay. And it's okay. So he's not cut. And we got the 2-point roll. So here we go. Frazier showing the muscle in this first round. And he does it again with a 17 versus an 8 with a 5, which is another hit for Frazier. And it's a 43, which is an attempted knockout punch. Now, it is a K7, and Frazier's power is an 8, so that means that it is an attempted knockout punch, not just a 2-point punch. So we now have to look at Foreman's chin. It's an 8, so we're going to go up to this chart on the 8, and we will see. And it's a 39, so it's not a knockdown, but it is a 3-point punch. So Frazier just wailing on Foreman in this first round. So we go in, and this is an 11 versus a 10 for Foreman, and it's a 2, so it's a hit. Again, the only thing that wouldn't be a hit right now is a 1. And it's a 68. So it's a 1-point uppercut for Foreman. Finally getting a shot in here as he's getting wailed on. 2 minutes into the round. Okay, here's our first. This is a 17 versus a 17. So they're even. So what happens is it's a split action. So instead of rolling on our punches, we roll on our split action. Now they're both pressure fighters at this moment. So we check pressure versus pressure, and that's a brawl. So we'll look on this left-hand chart, and we roll. And it's an 08. So it's a foul check on the red fighter. So now Foreman is a red fighter. He is a clean fighter. We check, there's a little list here. It will either say clean, average, or dirty. They are both clean fighters in this fight. So we take our red dice. A 1 through 10 means nothing. There could be foul if it's higher than a 10. And it is an 18. So it is a marginal foul. So we give George Foreman a 1 foul point. Now that will come into play, maybe come into play at the end of the round. Right now, not yet, but I'll tell you about it in a second. And we give 0, 0 in the 2 minutes. Okay, so this is a 4 and a 4 with, so that means again nobody's in control. So we go back to our split action chart, and it's a 63. A 63 in the split action chart is a 1-point exchange for both. So each fighter gets a 1 And we go back. And we have a 16 versus a 19 with a 2. So that is a hit for Frazier. Coming up the last shot of the round. It's a 70, so it's a K4, which means, again, this is an attempted knockdown punch. So we go to the 8 chart, which is Foreman's chin. And we roll our 100. It's an 11. Now, a 0-1 to a 0-6 would have been a knockdown, but an 11 is a 4-point hit, so that is huge. And the bell is going to ring on that big punch. So now we add the scores. This is when it takes a minute in the game. You got to add up the scores for how many hits you got. Now, Foreman went 2, 3, 4. Now, the reason I said that foul would have come into play if he had had 5 points, the foul would have been added after, and that would have been a TKO point. And I'm going to talk about TKO points in a second because Frazier is definitely earning some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points for Frazier in that round. So, if you look on our TKO chart, which is right here. Now it says if you've earned this many punch points, you earn that many TKO points. So your opponent's going to get a TKO point if you get 6 points. If you've knocked them for 10 points, it's 2, 14, So since Frazier hit Foreman for 12 points, that is going to be 2 TKO points for George Foreman. And what really hurts, there's 2 things that hurt about that, is that George Foreman is a 6 TKO, so he can only get 6 points before we start talking about, a TKO. So he's already lost 2 in that first round. And the other thing is a TKO point also affects endurance. And George Foreman has very, very little endurance. He was only going to be able to run 4 of these pressure rounds if he stays in that thing. So he is going to lose 6 endurance points, which will bring him to a 9 already. And Smoking Joe Frazier's endurance is a 25. Smoking Joe's going to stay in pressure because he won the round. And so we'll roll for Foreman, see if he's going to stay in pressure or if he's going to move to something else. He is going to move to something else. He's going to move to outside. That's actually the best thing for him right now because it does the least amount of endurance. But what happens is that he's now his defense is going to stay at 1 because he is a 1. The other thing is his control is going to go up. So he has less of a chance to be in control because he's going to be holding an outside position. So now we're running 2 different models. Frazier will be in the pressure, and if you notice in the pressure, there's a lot more attempts to miss, but there's some higher points, cuts, He's swinging for the fences. Foreman's sort of, kind of holding his guard, staying off a little to the outside. So we have that ready. We are going to start round 2. Now, because of they're switching in position, I said that there we go. His control is a 10. So now we have the situation where they're not even. So it's not like the higher roll wins. If Foreman rolls a 9, let's say if Foreman rolls an 11, so he's plus 3. No, he's plus 1, and yeah, so he rolls an 11, he's plus 1. He rolls an 11, he would be plus 3, and Frazier would be in control. So that's the thing. Their control ratings are now different. So it's by plus, how many is he in control. My apologies if that's a little confusing, but I'm sure it will pop up in here in a second. So I said it's going to pop up here in a second, and it pretty much popped up right now. It's a 16 versus a 16. And like we said, that's a +6 for Foreman, but it's a +8 for Frazier. So Frazier's going to start off with another hit. Oh, I did mess up one thing. Actually, I don't think I did, because... Yeah. No, we didn't have to roll, because 6 to 11 on our points is the high fighter gets a 10-9. Normally you would have to roll at the end of the round, but because it was such a lopsided victory for that round, Frazier will get a 10-9 by everybody. So let's roll, and it's a 0-0, which means it is a attempted knockout punch. He throws a hook right off the bat, and so we go and look at George Foreman's chin again, and it's an 8. A 0-1 to a 0-6 would knock him down. It's a 75, so it's a 2-point punch. But, oh man, this match is completely different from their Caribbean battle. Because this time it's Smokin' Joe who says, I'm not going to be out in the second round. Okay, so we got an 18 versus a 3, which means Foreman is in control, but he rolls a 1, so he actually... the punch is by Foreman, but it's defended. This is the first time we've seen a defended punch, so we look on the right-hand side of the board. And it is an 86, so we go down here, and oh, geez, it's a C, which is a counter. So he missed, and now Frazier gets to roll on Foreman's chart, and it's a hit, and it's a 58, and it's a 1-point cross. So Frazier just got an answer for everything in this match. So it's a 19 versus an 18, and just like we said in the last one, it's a +9 versus a +10. So Frazier gets the hit, and it's a 34. So we look back on it, and it's a 1-point B punch, which is a hook, and it is a cut possibility. So we'll roll on Foreman's cut, which is a 7. It's higher than a 7, so it's okay. So he's taking his abuse, but he's still holding up. We got an 8 versus a 20 with a 4, so it's a hit by Frazier. And it's a 73. So 73 is another attempted knockout. Big combination punch. And it's a 68, which is a 2-point punch. He does not knock him down. That chin is holding up. Foreman has not scored in this round. This is a 5 versus a 2, so nobody's in control. We go to our... Now, we are seeing an outside versus a pressure now. So it's just a normal. We'll run on the normal chart right now for the split action. 83 in the normal is a even exchange, 1 point. So Foreman gets his first point, but Frazier has scored in every 20-second interval in this round. We have an 11 versus a 1 with a 3. So that's a hit for Frazier. And it's a 62, which another attempted KO punch. And it's an 82, so it's another 2-point punch. This is getting out of hand, and a TKO watch is certainly in the realm of possibility. I have to look at that. Hold on. The great thing about this game is you come with directions in the you have directions in the box, and then they also send you directions in the online on a PDF, so you can go in here and look. And I just want to see, because I think there is a single round as well. I might be wrong, and I just want to make sure. Single round. When he suffers a TKO point equal to half his TKO rating, rounded up. So that would mean if... Yeah, so his TKO ratings is a 6. So if Frazier gets 14 points, it would actually be a... if he gets 14 points in a round, it's a TKO. So, and right now he has 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 with 3 things to go. So it's possible. It's not guaranteed. But so see, I love having the PDF directions, so I could just put them right up on the screen and read it. So it is an 11 versus a 14. Again, Frazier with the hit. And a 43. It's another KO attempt. So we look on the chin chart. 37 is a 3-point punch. So if the answer comes down to, if Frazier gets 2 more points in these next... We have 2 more rolls in this round. If Frazier gets 2 points, we see a TKO. A single round TKO. And would be true to life, as this fight did only last 2 rounds in in real life. And it is a 16 and a 1. It is and a 2. It is hit by Frazier. This could be the match. It's a 50. Yep. It will be the match because it is again a knockdown punch. Minimum is going to be 2 points. So we will see. We're going to check the KO roll. It's a 62. It is a 3-point punch. So let me confirm it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 is over the 3-point TKO, which is half his. It is over. The referee gets in the middle of them and holds him back. Payback from the real life match has happened. Smokin' Joe Frazier is going to win by a second round TKO. I cannot believe it. I was expecting us to be going for hours in a 15-round match. And no. Smokin' Joe wins it. I can't believe it. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that the match did not go as long as I expected. But we have a new World Heavyweight Champion in Smokin' Joe Frazier. And just like that, in 2:20 in the second round, and let's Google that. I'm almost positive it was like 1:40 in the second round in real life, but with a different battle. The Sunshine Showdown in January 22nd, 1973 was George Foreman and Joe Frazier, and the fight only lasted it lasted 1:35 in the second round. Our fight lasted 2:20 in the second round. So, well, I'm sorry, guys. this was going to be a longer fight, but no, in real life, it was pretty much even. The same thing. So, that's pretty cool, though. I love a game that you can learn something about, because I did not know Frazier and Foreman fought in the Sunshine Showdown in Jamaica. And again, it lasted 2 rounds. So we will see Smokin' Joe Frazier in our next fight. Next Saturday, we will have another fight. I think we're going to see our welterweights battle. I have not decided who will face Floyd Mayweather Jr., but we will see that battle on the stream. It's going to be on the YouTube channel because I have to work on Saturday afternoon. So I will have a pre-recorded match, but it'll be back up, and we'll have one every week. I'll rotate the divisions, so we'll see some welterweights, middleweights, featherweights, lightweight battles. And then, yeah. So thanks for coming in, everybody. Again, sorry that the match did not last longer, but it was true to life. And congratulations to Smokin' Joe Frazier for becoming the new heavyweight champion. I will add that to our list over there on the right-hand side. And so thanks for watching. Hope you come back. We're also going to be starting our wrestling videos coming Tuesday. And don't forget to watch those Baseball Mogul videos usually come out on Monday. They're pre-recorded. I already got a couple done already. So I hope everyone has a good day. Enjoy. And I'll see you next time. Take care.